Hi and welcome today. I am extremely excited to have Scott Hejna with us. He is the he is the franchise developer for Aira Fitness, and Scott's been in the fitness world for 23 years, and with Aira Fitness for about the last year, if I'm
Yes.
correct. And the great thing about Scott was he was an All-American football player with St. Francis. He played in their defensive backfield and also returned uh, punt returns and kick returners. So, Scott, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate the time with you, Luke, and really looking forward to this.
Me too. It's fantastic. Well, tell me a little bit more about your background. I hit on the highlights, but tell me about your background and why you are in the exact right position you are right now.
Yeah, right. It's like life is scalable, right? So I was blessed to have an opportunity to jump into the wellness space. You know, I do have my bachelor's degree in business management, so I know I wanted to be in some format um, of business, but kind of spearheaded when I was 19 years old. Again, earning my degree and playing college football. The owner of a Gold's Gym uh, approached me and he's like, "You should be a personal trainer, right?" And I said, "Okay, what do I got to do?" So I got my first cert, got my first nutrition certification, and through Gold's Gym and the Apex program, that's where the journey kind of began, and it just superseded every year thereafter. Yeah.
And how did you get involved with Era?
So, through my days, I was blessed to work with V-Man. Learned a lot when I Aira Fitness, large club chain here in the Midwest, mostly based out of Chicago. Then worked for Life Fitness and Hammer Strength. Wonderful opportunity. Mr. Regala is just an amazing gentleman, still a mentor of mine. He's now a national director over at Ecor Flooring. And he and I still chit chat quite often, but it really spearheaded when I started consulting in the space. Mike Bell, our CEO, he and I actually met on a spiritual basis. We met at church, actually, and we both said, "Hey, we're on the wellness space, right?" Um, so that kind of goes into Mike and I's relationship. That was circa 2015. Um, and Mike had this vision, this dream, this passion way back in 2000, early 2018. Um, he wanted to do a gym, and we said, "Okay, let's do it." Um, and I want to stress our franchise has been up and running. It's been actually less than a year, to be honest. So it's really
Mhm.
it's amazing, right, to see where we're at, where we were, where we're at now, and our future. But so Mike and I literally, with our own two hands, did everything from the flooring, electric, painting, equipment build out, everything you can think of. And that's really where the journey began. I apologize, but yeah, circa 2023, and that's why how you mentioned, Luke, in the early stages that I've been there for about a year. I've actually been there from day one, right?
Mhm.
We made it through COVID. We had to pivot our business model through COVID. Had to do more online coaching, and we did so to help out our members, and didn't close one door down.
That's
So
fantastic.
that's where
And
we're at today.
currently, you said you've been doing the franchising less than a year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Currently, how many franchises do you have? And then go on and explain how your big news today is going to impact Era moving forward.
Yeah, really excited. So to be honest, we're still in that micro emerging phase, Luke, right? We are, but we are going to break out of there, and we're going to break out of there soon, right? And we're so excited about it. But currently, we have 8 franchises with another 6 franchises already FDD signed, ready to rock and roll. Okay, with another 6 right now, soon to be 7 here soon by the end of the day, with with another 7 14-day FDD signed. So now they're just going through the franchise process, which we all know and love, right?
Mhm.
So it's real strong growth. I unfortunately developed blood clots, Luke. Yeah, I was out of the office, out of commission for about a month, 6 weeks. So I think we would have really hit the ground a little bit harder. But with that being said, we're really happy where we are now, and with some of the new strategic partnerships we formulated, we're excited about the future. And I'm such a firm believer in the wellness space that proof of concept is key, right? So what better way of proof of concept, Luke, than literally doing it yourself? Okay. With our three model approach, we have your 34 to 2800 model, right? 24/7 PT, boot camp, nutrition, athletic performance. But then we also have our studio model. I absolutely love the studio model, and we'll probably get into it later on the financials and numbers of it. But cost effective. You can still run your all revenue streams, all KPIs, whichever you may call it, within a small space. And that's the proof that I'm going to show in lovely Wonder Lake, Illinois. And Luke, I was so excited to stress this to you earlier today that it literally just went through today, just this morning. So I'm excited to show proof of concept and how we can do it on a positive connotation and really help others. That's what it comes down to. Because in the franchise space, numbers is key, right? Numbers drives everything. Metrics, sales metrics, everything you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if you're helping people, referrals are coming through, everyone's happy, you're giving the right services. I think those metrics that we just talked about, they're going to come. You know,
Absolutely right.
so
Congratulations on the growth, and the timing of everything happening today was out of our control. But Scott, you
correct.
did it, and I'm so glad that that timing worked out. Now, I do have a question for you because you are hitting the spot where some franchisors will outkick their coverage and they'll grow more than they're able to sustain and support their franchisees. How will you know when you're getting close to that point?
We're almost there already, right? We didn't, right? We're almost there already, but we have a well organized game plan. For instance, obviously hiring is key, but hiring the right person is key. So we're developing and moving people from within. For instance, we've just officially deemed one of our managers at our corporate facility, which is also our corporate office. She's now VP of franchise support. So she's not doing any selling, doesn't have to deal with any of the smaller issues that happen with inside, because we do have a 14,000 square foot club. That's not really in our wheelhouse. Can we do it? Yeah. But, right, let's stay in our lane. So VP of franchise support, again, our fearless leader, CEO, Mr. Mike Bell, his wife actually left a very lucrative career in leisure activities, and she's now 100% 24/7 franchise support. And we eat, live, breathe, sleep this. For instance, I can't stress enough, even Mike's 6-year-old daughter, she's already planning on marketing schemes and everything. She never wants to leave the gym. So it's very family orientated. But that being said, making sure that it's scalable is what we're laser focused on right now, because we don't want to get into that scenario, and we have game planned accordingly.
Outstanding. I'm glad to hear that. What does the next year look like for you and Aira Fitness? If
Yes.
when we're having this conversation a year from now, what are you telling me that's different?
Um, these are true smiles here. The CEO and I, with my 23 years, and he's been in the industry for quite some time now, 10 plus years. Um, there's always, let's be real. If we always said we always had wins, Luke, right? There's never losses, right? We're perfect. It's not reality. Progress, not perfection, right? So the future is what Mike and I literally talk about every day for 1 hour a day, 24, 365 days a year, right? So our vision, right? We have the proven models, right? And our franchisees are extremely happy and excited. There's proof. Our Instagram and Facebook is very, very powerful, right? Our mastermind speaks volumes because every one of our franchisees is on there, and working together, right? Um, Stacking wins, or maybe stacking a loss. Maybe they had a rough day. Like, man, a lot of sales can come through. That's okay. So what we do from the back end is we ensure all the franchisees, we ensure that if someone's having a tough time, there's a phone call beyond literally within 5 or 10 minutes from our franchise support team. And with that being said, we really see the growth in that private studio model. We feel like what we can offer and our value add is we can offer less space, low overhead, high revenue streams, because we can implement those same revenue streams in a smaller space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do it demographically, I don't want to say we do it the best, but we like to think we do it quite well. For instance, we physically fly out prior to anybody and we focus on lease agreements, right? Because that's where people fail,
Mm-hmm.
right? They get so excited. About getting their facility. We will not allow a bad lease to go through. So we walk them through every step of the way. For instance, our CEO is out on a West Coast trip right now doing exactly what I explained. But our future, it's going to be a very, very bright future for 2024 and beyond. And our strategic partnerships are going to play a huge role with that. And we're really excited about that, adding value for our clients, not just for our members. Let me stress, for our members. How can we make a better user experience for every single franchise so we can duplicate it across the country?
Mm-hmm. Let's touch on those member franchisees first, because I do want to also touch on your strategic partnerships that I know
Love it.
are such a key role. But let's touch on the attributes of who it is that is the best franchisee fit for Aira Fitness.
Us being the cost leader, and I appreciate this question. I love it. Us being the cost leader, obviously lowest royalty, right? Lowest royalty on the market. Um, Lowest upfront cost, in-house financing for the equipment, right? Um, we need someone that's motivated, that's passionate, that has the want to, that wants to break out of that big box and have a piece of their own pie, right? That's where the passion lies. And I can't stress enough. And we have 3 former military veterans that are on the team. Dennis down in Naples, Eric right down the street in Richmond, Illinois, and and our newest team over in Ventura, California. We're really excited about that. Greg and Manny, they're great gentlemen. But building that culture, motivation, passion, you don't have to break the bank to have your American dream. And that's our solution, our provider. Now, target customer really is anybody with those 3 aspects that I just mentioned, but really someone that has always thought about it. Maybe they've had a 2-year plan. They're journaling, they're writing about it, right? But they just don't know where to begin. So everything from financing to finding co-signers to investor dollars, however they have to do it, we guide them through the entire process. Because let's be honest, in the wellness space, to open up a franchise, it's not cheap. We make it affordable for people, and that's the key for us.
Right. Right. And on a day-to-day basis, what are your franchisees? Where are they to grow their membership? What are they doing?
Great question. So I don't want to say that we're an marketing ad agency, right? But we have a built-in ad agency algorithms for Facebook and Instagram. We know how to get that cost per click, that cost per lead, and the lead, as well as the lead nurture process. We like to think we have it down really well, right? So they can figure out their budget, right? So a lot of it's a done for you solution, where they can just click and paste and utilize all of our resources. And now that we're growing exponentially, we're going to have more recesses in that funnel, resources, resources in that funnel for everyone in our team to use. and it's their choice, right? And because what do we know, right? Facebook, Instagram is that's the power play, right?
Right.
So we've spent countless hours figuring out algorithms, demographics, target market, your 34 to 56, things of that nature to really hone in on those. And obviously, everyone has sales processes, Luke, right? Everyone's got them. We like to think we have it pretty honed down as well. So
If I heard you right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear you saying you want your franchisees to be business owners and focused on that, and you're going to help them with bringing in the correct clientele.
you just hit it on the head,
Good.
Luke. We don't want them spending countless hours on social media, maybe on Canva, right? Designing their own platforms. There's no need for it. But what we do want is member engagement. We want them to build their own tribe, right? And that's where the success stories really come from.
Mhm.
Um, so photos of their clients, success stories of their clients, let's put that out there, right? Let's get that out there. So what they do from the back end is they get they just take the photo, right? We then go in, clean up the back end, clean up the background, make it look pretty. But at the end of the day, it's the client that's in the picture that's going to be successful for every franchise moving forward, and the current franchises as well.
That's awesome. Now let's hit on those strategic partnerships. Tell me more about that and how those are helping the people that you're helping.
Absolutely. So really, really excited and I want to start out with Lindsay Jenks at Macro Stacks. Lindsay at Macro Stacks has created a done for you nutrition coaching app platform, and I've been through them all. Right, I've tried them, I've tested them, I've utilized them, but in my opinion, let's be laser focused on what we're laser focused on in the clubs, right? So with us being private studio models or your 34 to 2,800 square foot models, there's not a lot of time to sit down with folks on an hourly basis for nutrition coaching, which is three-quarters of the game in reality. You can go work out for an hour and a half a day, and if you go eat McDonald's, right, nothing's going to get done. So that's a built-in done-for-you solution where the back end said franchisee can literally monitor everyone who utilizes the macro stacks program. And that's literally a value add, right? So now they have app-based nutritional macros, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, content, 700 plus recipes. Um, they get thumbs up if they hit their fats, proteins, and carbs every day. So I'm really excited, and Lindsay, her and I are literally in constant communication. So that's one avenue. um, I'm such a huge proponent, and there's literally database statistics showing the value of mental wellness programs, right? And and you see it in business a lot, right? You see it in business, Luke, right? Um, but now you're seeing it from pro athletes down. Now, how
Mhm.
can we get that to the consumer? Because mentally, if they're in the right space, Luke, if they're in the right space mentally, they're going to want to go to the gym, not, oh, I have to go to the gym, right? They're going to want to go to their personal training session. They want to hit their goals. So I've partnered with Tarun and Adios. Very excited about that. I'm physically going, like I said proof of concept, right? I'm physically going through the certification course as we speak, and I'm absolutely blown away at just the first week and a half that I've gone through it. Very excited about that. Third on the list, right? Our good friends, FitBanks. FitBanks is an app based embedded with the Aira Fitness brand, where we can literally digitally customize with 3,000 plus digital workouts, right? They can literally formulate any type of workout program design, but they can also load their own videos into it. So you want to make it product specific, right? So anywhere in the country, they want to be doing these workouts for their said clients in their own space. So they're like, oh, they're at Aira Fitness. This isn't just some app with some guy doing something, you know, doing something on the back end or, digital. Now there are 3,000 plus digital workouts in there, but we're literally not requiring. We don't want to require anything, right? We highly suggest the fact that they do their own videos in their own face because it's their face that's going to be in the person's app every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, really, really excited about this. A big portion of my background is athletic performance for youth athletes. It just so happens I still have some guys who I started at the youth level, and I'm aging myself here, Luke. But now they're kind of ending their careers in the NFL, NBA, a couple NHL guys too. But I was blessed to train several pro athletes back in the past, about 10, 11 years ago. Um, so we're actually implementing athletic performance into our facilities. We already have a wonderful gentleman, Elijah Reynolds in Utah, that is implementing fully because all of our spaces has turf, right?
Mm.
Every single space, even the private studios have turf. Okay. I want to stress that. But implementing athletic performance training literally through the FitBanks app. And then we have a partnership with Super Meteors Basketball. It's a nationwide AAU basketball organization to grow, develop, empower our youth athletes the right way, right? And that's what we're bringing to the table, as well as a couple other strategic partners on the equipment side.
Mm.
It's going to be very, very interesting, but that's TBD.
You got a lot going on.
Yes,
You have a lot happening. Scott, what haven't I asked you that I should and you want everybody to know about?
I love it. Why this? Why now? Why us? Right? The big three W's. This is a perfect time to join a true family, a true family. I can't stress that enough. Again, at the micro emerging phase, we will be out of there well before Q1 ends. But I can assure you what we want to do, and the reason why we are that cost leader, Luke, right, is we know once they pop up one, they're just gonna love the model, and they're gonna say, why don't we do another one? Why don't we do another one? And that's how our family wants to grow, and that's reality. Um, why now? Why not? Right? Why not? If you ever had that passion, that thought, that dream, or you've been journaling for 2 years, like I said earlier, about doing it, it's worth a conversation. Just have a conversation. If it's the right fit, at the end of the day, it's a good conversation, right? And then what we do, for instance, on LinkedIn, we have posted 6 biggest mistakes gym owners make, right? So we're out there for the person, whether or not if they decided to utilize us, excellent. If they don't, excellent. Good luck on your journey, and we wish you nothing but the best, right? And for the future, the sky's the limit, and we're just so blessed and excited to where it's going, right? And the fact that we did it all in house, right? We didn't outsource anything. Um, didn't go to ad agencies. We didn't do anything. We don't even go to that for franchise leads. We don't do it. We do it in house. We feel like we have a great system, and as long as they learn the system from sales, marketing, and operations, it's just effort at that point, and that's on
Outstanding.
the. Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but I was the first franchisee in a system. And you have a lot of new franchisees in your system.
Yes, sir.
How are they contributing now so that other franchisees that come in see their benefit of their hard work?
I did not know that about you, Luke. Um, I can only imagine, shooting for the moon. I'm sure you are highly successful. I can only assume. Um, but that's when I click back to, not click back, but when I think back to our earlier conversation in regards to our mastermind, right? That's literally constant contact. For instance, we had David had posted, hey, I got 3 sales today, and he's in his pre-sale, right? He's like, but I'm not doing enough. What can I do to do more? Like, he's hungry, he wants more, right? So literally, I cannot tell you, after I think 15 or 20 minutes, it was just funneled with, hey, try this, hey, try this, hey, try that, from a marketing perspective, because at the end of the day, it comes to leads, appointments, and sales, right? There's gonna be leads in the system, right? You got to set the appointment and assume the sale, right? Go in there with confidence. So that's just one for instance, but it's literally, it's daily, and it's a beautiful thing. Um, oh, we had another one. I'll give you another for instance. A layout wise, right? Which is huge, right? Layout
Mhm.
wise. Now, I do all the in-house designs, which is not a problem. With my days at Life Fitness and Hammer Strength, I was blessed to work for Mr. Brian Green at Active Solutions. Learned a lot from that, yeah, to say the least. But so I do the designs, but why not get other opinions, right? So we'll pop a design in there with their right square footage, right, through EC Design, um, and someone say, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Right, and then we can change it at any time in the back end, right? We have suggestions, but I think what separates us too is it doesn't have to be exact. And I want to give two more for instances. So Elijah, who I mentioned in Utah, he needed more turf, right? Because he wanted to do sports athletic performance. We said, absolutely, we'll add more turf, right? Instead of saying, no, this is the copy, this is the blueprint, this is what you have to do, right? We just turned it around a little bit, changed it up a little bit, and now he's loving it, right? I think he's got 30 youth athletes already, and he just opened. So his pre-sale was really, really good, right? That's on top of all the other revenue streams. And then Dennis Dowling. Dennis is down in Naples. He's big on powerlifting. We're not keen on putting 6x8 platforms, and we do power racks, half racks, what have you, but platforms take up space, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, and he wanted blue turf, right? So we made that happen, right? It's going to be his gym at the end of the day. It's not the Aira Fitness. It is an Aira Fitness gym, but it's his gym. He's the entity.
Mhm. Well, hit on that subject a little bit because franchising is all about the brand recognition. And
Mm-hmm.
how do you combine what an individual franchisee wants to do with their specific location or locations and make sure that that stays wrapped up in the Air Fitness brand?
Luke, great question. Great question. So there are some things that we won't change, right? From flooring to the paint, product implementation. I'd like to think I had a couple years doing that, right? So the equipment, we definitely work with them, but we do have parameters set forth,
Mhm.
as far as cardio strength, functional, um, and accessories. Accessories are so important now, and people really don't look at that. But everything from a resistance band to a Bosu ball, right? We make sure that everything is aligned, but we still, again, I can't stress this enough. What separates us is that we still want to work with them to make sure that it's their dream.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it shouldn't just be an investment, right? It should be their dream and their goal, in my opinion, right? So that's where we're at with that.
Outstanding. And how can somebody who's watching us today and is all fired up right now after listening to you, how can they get in touch with you to start their own journey on Air Fitness?
And Luke, I can't stress enough. I'm truly grateful, to be on today. What we can do, right? We'll click a link below. We'll add a link to this fun journey. And what you can do is you can always look up Scott Hejna, Hejna, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And I will obviously put my cell phone out there as well. Can I say that, Luke?
Who's going to stop you? I'm not.
Can now. I want to talk to anyone and everybody, that has that passion, motivation, and dream, um, to fulfill all those dreams that you have So contact me 708-674-9481, and I'd be more than happy to spend as much time as you need.
Outstanding. Scott, thank you so much for being with us today and with me today. I love learning about you, your kind of stuff, and I love learning about you. You know, you
Thank
and
you
I
so
have
much.
had a few conversations lately,
Yeah,
and they seem to be growing, and that's good stuff. So thank you again, and thank you to all the viewers for watching this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. Stay safe and win every day.
always humble.